Ever since Juan Soto turned down a 15-year, $440 million deal with the Nationals, it has been a hot button topic. Where will Juan Soto be traded? What team will give up the farm for him? And so forth. So today I'm here to talk about, should the Seattle Mariners trade the farm for Juan Soto? So it's no secret the Mariners have not made the playoffs since 2001. It's been a bit, especially as a Mariners fan. Right now they're riding a 14-game win streak and they are 9 games over 500. They're in a pretty good position as of this point right now. Obviously, a ton of baseball has yet to be played, and we will see how the team ends up when it goes into the end of September and October. Hopefully they'll make the playoffs, but I've been teased before as a Mariners fan. And the Mariners also have one of the top farm systems in all of baseball. Depending what website you like to look at, the Mariners have a top 3 farm system. So the main question I'm going to pose and get through in this video is, should the Mariners again trade the farm for Juan Soto? And if they were to, what would they have to give up? And who'd also be coming back with Juan Soto? Because that's going to be a big caveat in this Juan Soto deal, in my opinion. So if the Mariners were to trade for Juan Soto, I think obviously you're only going to get a guaranteed 2.5 years out of Soto. You're not, as the Mariners, you're not trading for him and hoping he signs an extension right away. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen with any team except for maybe the Dodgers or the Yankees. Beyond that, if Soto gets dealt to another team, I don't think he's going to sign an extension. It'll just be 2.5 years of him. So if the Mariners were to do this, it officially opens up their championship window. Like, it is win now time. Like, it's time to win a championship in the next 2.5 years. So I don't know if they're ready to do that, but if they are, I think you're giving up 3 to 5 of your best prospects. No doubt, that's entry-level conversation. And then also, I think a guy like Jared Kelenic would also go over. And so you would have like Emerson Hancock, you'd have Novelli Marte, you'd have Kelenic, and then 2 other prospects that I don't know off the top of my head. That's probably baseline sending back to Washington. Now, the way you can, I think, just give up 5 or so prospects for Soto, you're willing to take on the Patrick Corbin deal or the Steven Strasburg deal. And I know that's a lot of guaranteed money for one pitcher who's thrown like 30 innings in the last 2.5 years. And then also Patrick Corbin has been pretty bad the past couple years. So obviously you're just taking on money to get Soto, and it's worked out well for the Mariners so far. When they traded for Winker, they took Suarez kind of as a throw-in to take his contract, and Suarez has been really good this season for the Mariners. So maybe it'd work out, maybe it wouldn't, but I think that's how the Mariners could trade for Soto, is you give up 3 to 5 your best prospects that you have in your farm system. That is just easily what you're going to do. But also at the same time, you're probably going to take on a salary of either Corbin or Strasburg. And Strasburg, I believe, has 3 or 4 more years left with a ton of money. And then also Corbin has, I think, 2 years left with obviously a lot of money there too. So both contracts are pretty bad. You never know, maybe lightning strikes with Corbin and you see something in his mechanics and he ends up being good, because he was a really great pitcher before being pretty bad the last couple years. And obviously Strasburg, he can be a great pitcher, but health has just been his detriment his whole career, especially the last few years. And Strasburg wouldn't even pitch the rest of this year. I think he's had surgery on something else here recently, so he'd be done for the whole year, and you'd just be hoping you get something out of him in the next few years while paying him like $35 million a year, something just astronomical. But I think that's how it could be done. I think the Mariners, or I guess any other team willing to do that, I think the Nationals would do that, because I really do think the Nationals, they want all the salary off their books so they can sell the franchise to a new owner. And I know people argue about this all the time, like, if someone was to buy the team, wouldn't you want like a Juan Soto or a star on the team? And I get that argument, but me personally, I don't think I would. Of course you would want Juan Soto, let me rephrase that, but you wouldn't want a 15-year $440 million contract when you inherit the team, because who's to say that the team is so far behind, not ready to compete, that by the time they are ready to compete again, Soto's like 32 and then all of his elite years are gone. And it's just kind of a wash at that point, right? If I was buying the Nationals and I was a billionaire, I'd rather just have the team just be wiped, be a clean slate, and then I get to make my imprint on the team with my GM, my players, and so forth. But again, I understand the argument the other way. That is truly what I think the Nationals are doing. They're trying to alleviate all of their major salary or potential major salary. And one major way they can do this is to trade Soto with either Corbin or Strasburg. Now, I don't know which one I'd pick out of the two between Strasburg and Corbin. I think I would probably take Corbin, a little bit less money, and he has potential at least to pitch this year and the next year. He's been more healthy throughout his career. I know Strasburg's ceiling is much higher, but he's been so hurt the last few years, and honestly throughout his whole career. I just wouldn't want to touch that. But say you have to take Strasburg to get Soto, that is like the thing the Nationals are hung up on, then maybe you do it. Maybe that's just something you do. I wouldn't be super opposed to it as a Mariners fan, because could you imagine having Soto and Julio in that outfield, and you get a healthy Haniger back even just for this year? That's pretty crazy. And also Kyle Lewis coming back. Winker's been getting hot. Rest of the lineup with France, Cal Raleigh, Suarez, Crawford. Like, all of a sudden that lineup looks really scary. And maybe if you get Corbin, you get something out of him, because the Mariners will have to add a pitcher or two down the stretch here. And obviously if you get Strasburg, he's just kind of a null and void this whole season until next year. You hopefully get something out of him. But yeah, I do think the Seattle Mariners should trade for Soto, even if it is just a 2.5-year rental. It's time to go for it. You've built up this farm system. You're hoping to maybe do this one day. You might as well do it now. Prospects are prospects. Soto is the proven deal. He's only 23 years old. Why not go for it? What do you have to lose at this point, truly? Maybe you're depleting the farm system, could affect you in the future, but even then, I feel like Dipoto was drafted well enough over the last few years that even if you do trade your top 3 to 5 prospects, or even just 3 or 4, and then throw Kelnick, I don't even know if he's even a prospect anymore because he's played so much up in the majors, but either way, you throw him in. I don't think that's going to kill you. I don't think it will at all. Now, I would be hard fast on not trading anyone from the major league club. The team has some serious awesome chemistry, and I would not touch one person from the major league club. It'd have to be all prospects and or Kelnick going back to Washington. That'd just be what I do as Dipoto if I was making that deal. Maybe the Nationals want major league talent. If that's the case, then you say, okay, thanks for talking to me. I'd hang up the phone. In my ideal world, the Mariners trade for Soto, even if it is this for 2.5 years, give up the best 3 to 5 prospects, and that's how you get Soto and one of the pitchers with an inflated contract, and I think that would be a done deal. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think this is even feasible or possible? Do the Mariners even have a shot? Or do you think Soto will go to the Yankees or Dodgers or some huge market team? Let me know down below, and while you're down there, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Until next time, guys, everyone have a great day. Thanks for watching.